Greetings. This is Willman in Toledo, Ohio. How is everybody doing tonight? As you see here, I'm wearing a mask because it's like 20 degrees here in Toledo and I just got off work and I'm letting my car thaw. Excuse me. Just wanted to sort of see how it looked down here. Can't really tell what it is, can you? Where's my light? There we go. That's a little better, right? How's everybody doing? This is Hulk Smash. Just a Hulk mask, full body mask. I picked up, I think last year, and I just never wore it. So I thought I'd break it out tonight and see how it works. It's all right. It's a little tight on the nostrils, but most of these kinds of ski masks are. I've used a variety of different types of masks. Being an outdoorsman, I try to figure out what the best stuff is here. It's nice though because it goes all the way down your neck. I believe it's made by Marvel. Hulk Smash. But yeah, so today is now it's the 22nd of November. Just wanted to go live here after work while I drive down the road. Just sort of talk a little bit about this week and what's to come. So give me a moment. Switch this back around here. Can't really see, but turn this light off. So I hope everybody's being safe out there and staying warm. I've been seeing a lot of this water cannon thing going around. I suppose I really didn't hear about it. I didn't realize what it was, and now I'm understanding that. I'm just gonna take the hat off for now. It's a little overwhelming. My understanding is that they're shooting these water cannons at protesters. I'm not sure if it's specifically in North Dakota where the natives are gathering and all those protesters, or if it's like a global thing and they're just like all over the country wherever there's protesting. So if you could fill me in on that, that would be great. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on it. I just don't understand. I mean, I get that it's a bad idea to use water cannons in this kind of temperature because it can be deadly. Cold weather is very deadly. It's nothing to really mess around with. So you gotta always stay warm, you know. Always want to stay warm. Where did I put it? So you know what's in 2 days or 3 days time here? Where in the hell? It's a little holiday they call here in America Thanksgiving. This is supposedly the celebration point. Did I just do that? No. Celebrating that of which we were so graceful to the natives, and they were even gracefuler, if that's even a word. They were more graceful towards us. When I say us, I mean the white people coming over to colonize this territory, this land, as we know as the Americas or North America. You have to understand, back then, life in a different eye, you know. Today, we think America was built for the great, dream and prospect of being able to create your own whatever and provide a service. And every man is treated fairly and has the same what's the word I'm looking for? Has the ability. Basically, every man has the same advantage. Not, nobody should be over another person. We should all have the same ability and the same, not goal, but the same, we should all be given the same offers. You know what I mean? Just can't think of that word right now. Not privilege. We shouldn't be given. We should be given the same privileges, but see, we still have division in America, and even today, further we have it. And so I'm going to get into why I think Thanksgiving is really a sham. We're really just celebrating the victory of overcoming a primitive native group. And see, when I say primitive, it's because white men, they had different ways of living. And when you look at the Native Americans, to the naked eye, to the judgmental front cover kind of guy, they look primitive. But you have to understand that what's primitive to us might not be primitive to them, and what's sophisticated to them might not be sophisticated to us. We're just looking at it differently. You have to take that into account. Not every man sees through the same eyes, nor wears the same shoes, or has the same waist size. So that's something to take into thought, consideration, as you're traveling through this life. This is Will Man from Toledo, Ohio. It is November 22nd. You know what? No, it's still the 21st. 45 minutes till the 22nd. So, temperatures got up to, I think, 35 today. 37. Something like that. It wasn't very warm. Did see the sun, however. Just blows my mind. 7.5 earthquake struck Japan yesterday, I believe it was. Don't quote me on that. But right now they're under a warning and evacuation of a tsunami coming, threatening the eastern shore of the islands there. And that's just not good, because they've already seen so much devastation. So I want you to look for, if that is to happen, the tsunami is going to strike and flood out Japan. Watch and see how many times that tsunami is pulled back into sea and then strikes again. I'm sort of curious to see how that pans out. Because this was a 7.5 earthquake, and that is a rather large earthquake. I'm not sure the depth of it. I'm going to be working on my earthquake radars. I'm going to put together, I think, a nice little thing, sort of like Dutch Sense or Dutch Sign. Dutch does a great job, man. Just go watch Dutch's earthquake updates every day. You'll be fine. Like, I don't, and that's my problem. Earthquakes fascinate me, yes, but it's like, it's one of those things to where if you start doing it so much, you just get really hooked into it and you can't stop. And that's just never healthy. You gotta be able to step away from your work and that's one of my big problems is I either get into it way too much or I just don't do it at all, to sort of just avoid getting into it way too much. You know, I can't just do something just a little bit. It's sort of my downfall. And I'm constantly doing way too much at the same time. Like, I think when I'm doing so much. This is also part of time illusion. It keeps your mind pulling itself apart, basically. You're just so frustrated, and they create the system this way so your mind is down this way or that way, 1 or 2, you know, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, you know. It's they do this on purpose. Take, for example, scientists. When they are doing an experiment in a laboratory setting, any kind of experiment, the first step is to, you know, hypothesize, create and then you create a test for that hypothesis. How do you test that theory? And then you take that test and you think that test out, whatever. You run simulations on a computer, and then you do the real thing. And what is the first go-to real thing? Well, in most cases, it's lab rats, or mice, white mice, rats, any kind of rat in general. They are a little tiny mammal. They have little fingers. They have, 2 eyes, a nose, teeth, a tail, two hands and 2 feet. Their inside organs are fairly the same as ours. They have a skull, skeletal structure like us. They have a brain like us. They think left or right, up or down. And they have a keen sense of smell. And so what do they do to test these rats? Well, usually they put the rat inside of a giant steel construct, like a maze, filled with unnatural areas, like nothing natural, no Earth-like structures or features, and it's challenging. They create them to be challenging. Yes, I'm at Walmart. So you have to, as a rat, in a maze, you have to therefore sniff out, the cheese. That's what they usually do. They put the food or the cheese, at one point in the maze. So then the rat is sniffing around left or right, this way or that way, and they determine and they see how long it takes for the rat to comprehend and figure out, the best obstacle, quickest path to their goal, the cheese, because they're hungry. And I mean, that's, if you, it's just more, it's so much simpler than that, When a stream flows down a mountain, it basically follows a pre-laid path. Sometimes that path will be altered, but most of the time that there's a preset path, and that river, that water will flow down that path 90% of the time. The other 10%, it will create a little bit of a different avenue. You know, might find a new boulder and hit against it. Go a different way. But you just never really know. So, I just hope everybody's staying safe out there. Alright, this is Will Man, Toledo, Ohio. Just have a good night. Stay alert. Stay warm. You just never know what is next. You know, we like to think we know and to plan for the next day and the next week or the next month, but sometimes the moment comes and you don't have the plan. Then what do you do? Much love. Be safe, everybody.